We're in Camp Snoopy. We're going to start out. We've got 15 minutes till the park closes. So I'm going to do a power walk to take you around and show you all the Halloween we can find in that a little bit of time. We want to start out here though in Camp Snoopy because there's been a lot of questions about all the construction walls up and all of that stuff. And so decor is still rolling in, but definitely much more spooky farm flavored than gauntlet flavored as we are checking things out here. So it all feels much more familiar to past years, but not seeing any like set pieces or anything for gauntlet yet. So we'll see. Maybe with all of the construction, we won't see as much of that, but still getting a lot of the Camp Snoopy, I should say not spooky farm little touches with the jack-o'-lanterns and even the signage out. But here you can see one of those big construction walls. They also have walls up at the Camp Snoopy Theater, as well as the other side there. Well, we would love that, Sarah. Thank you for considering that. We do love that. Actually, on that note, for anybody that is part of our Parks and Cons crew on Patreon, if you're tuning in now or later watching it, we are in the last 2 days to RSVP for what we're doing with our Scary Farm night. So if you are, check that out. But yeah, so the front of the park, we'll go by Chilling Chambers. What we're going to do is make our way so you can see what's new in Fiesta, see what's going on over in Forsaken Lake. Then we'll hook over to the Chilling Chambers area and check out that build, and then make our way to Ghost Town and Calico Park and all of that. Haven't seen a ton new from a couple days ago. There's definitely a lot new since last week, but in terms of going from this week to a couple days ago, not a ton. Couple things though, and we'll show those to you as we go. But I always love seeing just all the pole. I always call them pole ghouls, although these ones are not very ghoulish, but I always love seeing what they do with the poles and those decor. There are some new ones up over in the Goring 20s area, so we'll show that to you in this as well, as long as we can get there before the park closes and we get kicked out. So we'll be moving pretty fast. We decided to do a live. We've not done a live. I don't think we've ever done a live on YouTube for this sort of thing. We've done it like back in the day on Periscope, but thought it might be a good way to show you a lot of stuff fast. So that is what we're doing. And these are new, obviously, pole decor that we've got in Fiesta here. And feel free to throw in if you have any questions about things we've seen or stuff like that related to all this Scary Farm stuff. Feel free to. I know I'm talking a mile a minute, but just want to show you as much as we can before things close. For those unfamiliar, we're in the time of year where the park closes at 6 on these weekdays. So basically on a day like today, we rush out from work around 4 and get here around 5 and try to gather up as much as we can in our 1 hour in the park. So it's not a lot of time. So this is a new touch. The figures are not new, but the positioning and this display new to fit in with Fiesta's theme over here. Looks great. Curious to see if we'll see the other figures show up, like the guy with the cigar and all of that. We've not seen any of them yet, and not sure where they'd be positioned. It seems like this would be the part of the park, but I kind of wonder if those have maybe been shipped off to somewhere else in the Cedar Fair family. There was no decor down there, no decor in Boardwalk yet, nothing for Carnival, nothing for Chilling Chambers yet. The marquee they did shift over that says, you know, you can buy Not Scary Farm tickets online, but no decor yet. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that facade and all of that, but nothing there yet. I mean, a lot happening in the next 10 days here as they are running out of time on opening night of Scary Farm. We will be here opening night of Scary Farm, so we will cover it to the best of our abilities, and we plan to try to be at Scary Farm more than honestly ever. We have our pass. We're very appreciative that they brought the pass back, and with 50th anniversary, it just feels like we need to use that thing as much as we can. So again, not a ton of decor in Fiesta yet. Curious to see if more develops. A lot of times with a new land or reimagined land, they'll go pretty light on decor at these places. Be there 29th, 30th, October 1st. That is going to be an awesome 3-day run there. It's nice with that time too, because as we know, a lot of things are still being scrambled to be done on opening night in those couple days. And so giving it a few weeks, guessing you'll see some pretty polished products there. All right, so exiting Fiesta and making our way into Forsaken Lake. Here they've moved out a bunch of the set pieces. I'm hoping we get some things like this in Gauntlet, but I don't know. We'll see. There's not been anything added so far. As I said, nothing at least specific to Gauntlet themed. It seems just to be all the Spooky Farm stuff, but I'm hoping we at least get some trees and some smaller set pieces like this. Is the buffet still going to be at Spurs? Michael asks. All we have heard has been yes, but all we have seen is that it's not ready yet. So it is like one of the top questions we have had for a few, few months now. Whenever they shut Spurs down, because that's a big deal to us. Any signs of the white gravy? That's the big question everybody's asking this year. Will the white gravy return to the buffet? We know we get that question quite a bit, and we can't wait to see that as well. But in terms of the location over there, Spurs, it still is under construction, but really hoping it is done. We really like that location more than Mrs. Knott's, just our own personal preference, because we're like inside the park already. So we are hoping. All right, so a bunch of set pieces here, and the usual stuff. Around. But over here, this is a spot that's caught our attention this year. New walls up as of a few days ago, or at least that's the first time we were here when the walls were up. So as we move to the spot kind of in between Forsaken Lake and Chilling Chambers, we've got these walls, and if we kind of scoop back some, we can see a skeleton kind of popping up above it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. If we go to about over here. And it looks like kind of a, I don't know, like a gazebo or a flower house type thing, all kind of broken down. It all has that fit. It may just be extension of Forsaken Lake and kind of giving more of a, new backdrop to work with. But you can see like the trees that have been added in, some new lighting, and a couple new structures there. So that's all been, at least for us, the first time we noticed it was a few days ago. But it's always neat when you see like a new spot in the park. It's kind of like when we saw the arcade getting worked on this summer, because it's been a long time since the arcade was in play. It just was exciting to see a new area explored. So, all right, as we make our way over here to Chilling Chambers, you'll get the other side of Camp Snoopy and what's going on there. And you'll see a lot more walls. And again, a lot of these walls not having to do with Chilling Chambers, just having to do with the construction going on in Camp Snoopy. So some strange timing there with Scary Farm coming up, but a big project, I guess, there got underway for next year. We do have the Peanuts windows. Gotta love Lucy's witch costume, right? But we're used to the exit for Pumpkin Eater being over here. But as you can see, again, a lot of walls. The Camp Snoopy Theater not being used during Spooky Farm this year, it looks like. And this area all blocked off as well. So a ton of work. Now, if you've watched our past videos, you know we're kind of spoiler light when it comes to the construction stuff. We don't really love like seeing every detail of the mazes. So obviously, if you're taking a ride on the stagecoach, which was not an option today by the time we got here, but you can see a lot down there. But I know for myself, when I see people posting that, I kind of speed by it because I just kind of want to experience the maze. But it is out there if you are looking for that. And they have extended the walls on the other side there as you meet to the entrance of the turnstiles. So it looks like a really large footprint, even bigger than what we've had in Pumpkin Eater before. We got the E2 gate over here. And this year, again, they put more work. We've covered this in past videos, but like they've been blocking off little holes like that normally they've kind of just let go. No work on the entry statement yet, but I know that's something a lot of us are excited about, to see that 50th tribute. We'll miss the skeletons, but it looks like it's going to be a great substitute for that. So make our way over here, get to see some more familiar zombie faces have added in. They have been adding to the stage since Crazy Kirk finished up here. You might be able to see, I don't know if it picks up really on video here. They are working through there. They're working on the stage as we speak. And they are testing audio as we speak. Really curious to see what the hanging is like in that location this year. I really thought that they would bring it back in a much darker version, kind of more of an 80s version, but it's returning to the humorous version, so curious how that goes. I love these guys. I really want one of these guys whenever they're done with them. I don't know if they'll ship them off to a park or employees will be able to get them at some sale, but I would love to own one of those guys. All right, so lots of little decor elements added over here in Ghost Town Street, so we'll make our way there, and then we'll get to Calico Park if we can before they shut us down here. Back by the rapids, they have added some of the elements for the spider. I believe it's the spider that they teased at Midsummer that the lantern would help kind of activate. And so they've added in, we posted it on social a couple days ago, if you've not seen it yet, but like they've got spider eggs and some kind of birds off to the side too, just a few different pieces of decor. But the big thing is really the spider eggs and kind of like vines and webbing kind of hanging from the fencing there that I believe will go with the big spider that's moving in there. Got some familiar faces over here. And actually, let's take a quick look at Spurs and see if we see any changes there. Because we checked it a few days ago, but we did not go over there today. So just in case, thing new, and we'll see a few more skeletons. This is another one of the pole ghouls that I would love to own. These guys are so awesome. So Fiesta is not scheduled to have any specific maze this year, although I will say on that. Okay, so real quick on Spurs. Coming in the fall, Miss Murphy's Farm Fresh Meals. So no changes there yet. You can see some, I believe this was for one of the news outlets to come and do some of their stuff, some display there. Spot to show off some of the food. So Fiesta, when we did the tour, we did a construction tour back in January, and they didn't allow us to post anything at the time or take any pictures, but one of the things that came up there, we asked specifically about Scary Farm for the future there, and they did share that part of the redo of everything in Fiesta was giving it the proper tech to be able to house all sorts of different entertainment, including a maze someday. So not this year, but that would seem to be probably next as we look at it growing in the years to come. It's really curious to see if they did use that area, what they would do in terms of, we know the depths and dark entities are done after this year. I don't really think they're going to start doing 3 mazes a year, but maybe. Some of the Scary Farm bunting here. This is the first signs of it here at the front of the park. And it makes its way along the walk back here. So this year, I think Fiesta is mostly going to be what it is at night. And it'll be kind of a passing through zone as it's been for a little while now. But very curious to see in the future because they've got room to work over there. And if it does happen, I'd be curious if we lose some other location. Although I wouldn't think it would be the depths or dark entities because they're so nicely put offset there. The 2024 Haunt Pass, we did the same thing. We bought it as well. We thought since it was such a battle to get it this year, oh, there's the call.
We hope you and your friends had a happy and memorable day here at Knott's Berry Farm, and that you return again very soon. Once again, the amusement area is now closed. Thank you.
All right, so we'll hit the stage and show you a couple more little things over there as we wrap it up in the next few minutes here so the employees can head on home. But yeah, so we bought our 2024 Haunt Pass as well. Just figured it was there, time to get it. We renewed and all of that. And then Michael commented on the pumpkins. Great, I love those. The ghost town pieces are always some of my favorite. It's really neat how they've made it so that they work for the daytime Spooky Farm crowd as well. I really like just the park in general, having gone really all out with decor and not being limited because of Spooky Farm and it being more family friendly. It really speaks to how well adding some fog and lighting can go to make this stuff look great. And they did just get this stage up in the last few days with those jack-o'-lanterns, a popular photo op in day and night. So Summer Nights is all put away. The Scary Farm Maze is going to be exclusive for this year. I do not believe any of the mazes are exclusive for this year. I believe all of them are just cycling in. So I'd be surprised if any of them didn't return next year, although I guess stranger things have happened. But I would imagine all that's going to go into putting these things together, that they'll want to keep them for a bit. We did ride Calico Candy Mine Ride, something admittedly we don't usually do in a Scary Farm night, even with our pass, just because it feels like we always want to spend our time in mazes and seeing the other nighttime shows. But we did see it in the daytime. It is the usual family friendly. I know it's a bit darker at night, and I do like that. I wish they had that darker version. I still miss the Witch's Keep. I don't know if anybody watching remembers the Witch's Keep. I go back a couple times a year and watch our video from like 2014 of that. I just loved having access to the Green Witch in daytime ops. All right, and then our big stage here. Lots of beautiful pieces there. Aging, painting, all sorts of work going on there. Just looking really fantastic. Yeah, I really like the Witch's Keep. I don't know. I love that we could come here on a day like this at 5 p.m. and get a really good dose of Green Witch with fog and all that stuff. So we would ride it every single time we'd come, even if the park was only open for an hour, whereas not so much with the candy, not down on it. It's just, obviously it's much more friendly, which is fine, but not as scary as the Witch's Keep was. So we've got obviously the big fountain here, looks incredible. And then they've added the bunting for these poles with kind of more of a vintagey Halloween orange and black design to them. So they alternate. You've got the bird, you've got the cat. Surprised about Puppet Up? Yeah, you know, it's interesting because it's like they give these things 3 years. It seems like in many cases. And so it's 3 years we're done. I know we were really not certain about Puppet Up when it came, and then we ended up really falling in love with it. And we keep wanting to go out to Henson to go see a performance there, but tickets are so pricey. We've not actually done that yet. So we did enjoy that. Timber Mountain Hootenanny. You know, much like Calico Mine Ride, love that it's themed, love that it's an overlay. I definitely, with any of the rides, particularly the 50th, would have preferred more adult versions or more scary versions, I guess, for lack of a better term. But I get it. Spooky Farm's a big deal. And, you know, that's a place for the families to enjoy. And I understand not wanting something scary in the daytime there. So fine with it, but I do miss more of that old school. And again, Witches Keep kind of probably being the most recent of it. Fixed Kevin. Yes, they got Kev. They have two Kevins actually over there. Hey there, Christopher. Excited about opening night with you. Cannot wait. There's something about that rope drop for Scary Farm that just is electric. And last year, coming back, it was like such a big deal. Yes, a haunt overlay, the old spooky tales. That would be fun. Darker themes for the rides. I would really like Scary Farm exclusive ride overlays. Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of thought one of the attractions would go that way. So I was a little surprised when that wasn't part of kind of the announcements that they were going with a darker version of them. But again, I understand it. I'm fine with it. I feel like this year, when we bring friends to Scary Farm, there's going to be probably too much for us to do in any given night, which is a good thing. We experienced the same thing for the first time ever at Horror Nights. And as long as we've gone to Horror Nights, we've always kind of ended the night having plenty of time left over. And this year there was enough stuff to keep us entertained that it filled up the night. And so I feel like this year with Scary Farm, when we bring friends, because usually when we're coming on random nights, we don't have front of the line. Usually the only night we have front of the line is the media night. The other nights we come on our pass, we just do what we can with the time that we have. But I feel like we'll have to just cut some things out, and that's not a terrible thing. It's kind of exciting to have enough going on there. Cannot wait to check out Cinema Slasher Maze. I am wearing the Cinema Slasher shirt, so I couldn't agree with you more. Today's the first time I'm wearing it. I was excited to get it. Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see the hanging, and I'm excited about its location. I'm interested in that. Very, very interested in that. And they have, they've added more of the merch outside of the Legacy store. So you do Into the Fog Art Show. We put that video up on our channel if you're interested in that, but also selling more of the store stuff. See more decorating underway as we speak. This is the busy time of year. Huge thanks to all those Scary Farm build crew that are slaving away in the hot and humid. It's incredible the work that they do while a lot of us are asleep. They got the license plate back in, bags, and they have closed that door off. There's my Cinema Slasher shirt. Yeah, super excited for that as well. So with that being said, I think we're gonna wrap up this video this time. Thanks for joining us with this dash around the park here. Hopefully you saw something that was fun for a little haunt fix. We're only 10 days away out from opening, so then we'll get all sorts of scary, and we won't need to look for them breaking out all of the fun decor, because it'll all be up. So excited for that. We will have more videos leading up to opening night, and then as I said, we'll be here opening night too. So we're gonna wrap up here. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you online soon.